What is up, YouTube? It's Brandon from Tattooing 101, and today what I'm going to show and talk to you about is the importance of borders. So what a border on your tattoo design or your flash sheets is going to do for you. If you're new to this channel, make sure you like and subscribe down below for all the new tattooing content we come up with each week. So let's say you have a few designs and you're making a flash sheet. So one of the easiest ways to make your flash sheets look professional is to add a border around your designs. So the first thing you want to do is have all your designs set up perfectly and spaced out how you would want them on your flash sheet. So spacing them out, making them look, visually appealing on your actual piece of paper. And then what you do from there is you add a border. So what you could do is add a different layer, use a thicker brush, and then just go through and do a border like this. Now this is a really simple way to create a border, and then you could go through and change your opacity to have it, block out your designs. What I prefer to do is go on Google. There's thousands of different border designs readily available. You just want to choose one that isn't too crazy. You don't want that one that's going to take away from your designs, just something to put in the background to kind of clean everything up and make it look official. So I chose this one that I found online, and what I did was just crop out the background with the automatic select tool. I just selected the border and cut it from the original one. And then what you could do is size it up to your piece of paper. I like to leave a little bit of a gap like that. And obviously right here, it kind of overpowers it. It's going over your actual tattoo design. You don't want it like that. It will be cool. It is cool sometimes to let a little bit of your designs overlap over it. So what I like to do is change the opacity and not make it so sharp. Turn it down so it's barely visible. And then you could go through here and erase the parts of the actual designs that are overlapping, right like this. Now, if you are working on your designs to where you have everything on different layers, what you can do is just go select a layer and put it in the background. But just because I copied and pasted all of these, they actually have the backgrounds on them, so I wouldn't be able to do that with this design. But this works as well. You could just go through here and erase that part of the border. But if you're working on the actual sheets that you're working on, you could just put it in the background and it'll work perfectly for you. Now, once you've gone through setting up your border, and there's a ton of different ones, you could choose any single one that you like. Just make sure it's not too crazy. This one's borderline, too much. So something like this will work, but you don't want a ton of different designs on a piece of paper, just because it could kind of take away from your artwork. Now, the next thing you want to do is make sure you are watermarking your designs. So what I mean by that is doing your signature. I've went through quite a few signatures throughout my career. This is the one I use now. So make sure you're adding your watermark to your designs. Depending on the design, sometimes I will have it really dark and show up, making it really big on my design. Sometimes I like to make it smaller and just barely put it in the corner. So with this one, with the background, I'm going to turn down the opacity too, so it's just a little watermark on the corner. I do add this with every single one of my designs, and it has changed throughout the years. So whatever signature you're using, if it's an actual signature or a symbol, make sure you're putting that on all of your designs so you could use it for branding, posting it online, and people just know what your artwork looks like. So from there, there's one more step that I do whenever I am working with borders and things like that. If I'm doing a design that I want someone to look at on Instagram or on Facebook, and I want it to look visually appealing so they pick it, I'll pick my design, and I always work on different layers. So I'll choose my actual lining layer and not use my color layer. And what I'll do is copy that and add a different layer to where I can turn down the opacity, and this is what it looks like when I'm done. So having your line work in the background just gives a different feel for the actual piece, and it makes it more visually appealing for people to want to pick it instead of just having, your original design and all this white in the background. Now you can zoom in and try to crop all this out, but this just looks really good. So this is another way to add kind of a border, just something in the background to incorporate with that. And as always, make sure you are adding your little signature in the background so that everyone knows that this is your design. And with this one, obviously I would make it more noticeable right like that. And this is how I set up every single design that I do.